My dear friends in Jesus Christ, a very good morning to you. A human life without a relationship with God is simply a mere existence. All the readings of today speak of the relationship that exists between a believer and God. The more one draws closer to God, the stronger the relationship. The believer is aware of the fact that God will provide all that is necessary for life now and also life eternal. But all that is expected of the believer is to proclaim in whatever way possible one's relationship with God. In the first reading, St. Stephen was killed because of his unending profession of faith in Jesus. He could have saved his life if he did not proclaim his love for Jesus, but he chose to boldly express it. Thus, he was stoned to death. In today's Gospel, the Pharisees and the scribes demanded a sign from Jesus in order for them to believe in him. They were not yet pleased with the wonders Jesus performed in their midst. They quoted Moses giving their ancestors manna from heaven when they were in the desert. But Jesus tells them that it was not Moses who gave them manna, but the Father in heaven. Ironically, the Gospel today showcases both differences as well as similarities existing between the Old and the New Testament. Let me now draw your attention to these. Manna of the Old Testament was an anticipated image of the bread of life of the New Testament. Manna was food from heaven, while Jesus was the true bread of life from heaven. Manna, as we all know, served their physical food to walk through the desert, while the bread of life is the spiritual food to walk into heaven. Manna was given at the request of Moses, while Jesus, the bread of life, gives himself to us of his own accord. Our bodies need bread as food, whereas our souls need the bread of life. So why then, my dear friends, is this bread of life so important to you and me? Firstly, the bread of life satisfies us. It satisfies our spiritual hunger and every longing of our soul. Secondly, it sanctifies us because it is holy, and therefore it enables the one who consumes it to be holy. And finally, it unifies us. God, who dwells in heaven, now dwells in our hearts. Jesus describes himself as the very same bread of life that nourishes all those who receive him, and this nourishment is eternal. Because of this pandemic, we cannot attend daily Mass, but do we seek to fulfill our Christian desire each and every day? Do we seek Jesus, the true bread of life? My dear friends, instead of looking for signs, it is better to just listen to God's voice and have a good conversation with him. If there is uncertainty, especially in difficult moments, let God direct you. Talk to him in prayer and listen to your heart. In your silent moments, let him speak to you. Today, let us examine ourselves and look at what my relationship with Jesus is. Do I really seek Jesus as the source of my life? Do we hunger for God and for His spiritual food, which produces eternal life? God bless you.